Hello, beautiful family. Welcome back to my page, or if you're new here, I'm Z, the Fairy Medicine Woman. I do lots of fun things. um, I have been getting a lot of requests about trying to figure out the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate and just relationship questions in general, because I also do relationship coaching, marriage restoration, and helping you on your twin soulmate journey. So I wanted to break it down for you all and give you some context as to one, your personal healing, two, having knowledge, and three, initiating your discernment. So, twins and soulmates, let's just start with that. They do exist, but not in the sense that we think. Social media and just YouTube in general has glorified them quite a bit. It doesn't really matter what verbiage you use for them. At the end of the day, they are really strong connections that we have with other souls. Twins, you are more easily able to locate them every lifetime. And I really want to be mindful when I say that you will go through certain life journeys before you meet your twin in preparation for love, right? Because there's a lot of things on YouTube where I see spiritual teachers, do talk about the struggles and all that stuff. And yes, that does happen because it's meant for soul expansion, but it doesn't mean that you should stay in any situations that are not healthy to you or for the other person, right? So I just want to make that disclaimer from the very beginning. I am not here to teach you that. If at any time you feel unsafe or unloved, you should exit the relationship immediately. But one thing to remember is that twin relationships versus soulmate relationships, again, are going to be there for soul expansion. So they're going to mirror back to you a lot of things about yourself that you need to heal, and you have somewhere in the past, maybe in your soul contract, have wanted to overcome either for yourself, for your physical lineage in your 3D this lifetime, or just wanting to experience. And the journey up to meeting your twin is quite interesting. And I do want to say that if you are feeling like you're questioning a ton, is this my twin, is this my twin, is this my twin, it's likely not your twin. So spirit and your ancestors and your guides will make it so indisputable to you that this person is your twin in a moment where you least expect it, that you're not going to sit and question and overthink. Like when you start to overthink, when you start to question who this person is and become overly obsessive about it, that is your ego. That is not your connection to your twin. And the way spirit will go about it is you will literally meet this person's face. Like spirit will not let you forget about this person. They will show you their name anytime you ask about them. They will show their name. You will know so much about them. You will have things in common, but you can also be extremely different at the same time. And you will feel this connection, a deep connection with them as well, but it feels like out of this world, which is why it's so important for you to do your generational healing and to sift through your trauma, because many people, and I've seen this happen, which is why I do this coaching, is that many people have not addressed their trauma, and especially among the 144 or the chosen or healers and things like that. So they mistake their passion, their open heart chakra that just opened to prepare them for love, as a connection with somebody else, when really it's an anxious attachment at the end of the day. So pay attention to those things in your life. And also another thing to realize, because as you are on your journey with your twin, weird shit's gonna happen. Like weird stuff, weird conversations, weird coincidences, you're gonna run into them. Like all of these things will just happen in your life. And you'll have dreams about them, but as you develop your clairs, you have to have such a high discernment, because along the way you are going to meet other spiritual people that will feel like you have a connection with them because you maybe see signs and all these things. And that could also be the universe seeing if you're paying attention, not to that person, but like using your discernment, and trusting the process. And you have to decide for yourself if that person belongs in your life or not, right? So I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I just want to emphasize that it's so important that you do your healing work and you unpack your childhood and you speak with your inner child as you are on this journey, because most of the time, again, that obsession with this person doesn't necessarily mean that they are meant for you. If you cannot let it go, sometimes, like, it's again back to that anxious attachment. And I've seen this happen a lot with people who have been raised in households, which is very common among the chosen ones or 144 light workers, like whatever you call yourself, to be rejected within their own home, to be rejected in other relationships, to be in places of harm, and then to open their heart to love when they are ready, and then latch on to people that they feel really strong spiritual attachments with, and then lose themselves within that. So it's really, really, really important that you also allow a sense of surrender to the universe, surrender to the ancestors to help guide you wherever you need to go. Because at the end of the day, your journey is not for you to obsess about this person. You're not ready for it. If you're obsessing for this person, you're not ready to be in a relationship, because you need to be like happy without a person. You don't, like, if you are overly attaching to people, they're not going to be able to get to you, because it's going to create a lot of friction in your relationship. Like, you need to still be independent. You need to understand what happiness looks like for you, what stability looks like for you, what financial freedom looks like for you, before you enter into that relationship and you have a sense of detachment, right? So you can be in other relationships and enjoy them and have fun and all that sort of stuff, right? Because most of the time I see people go from being really attached to then like dating and realizing, okay, this isn't the person, but I'm still gonna have fun. And then, you know, they eventually like settle into really getting to know themselves and what they're wanting to call in personally, right? Like, and you always have to remember that your twin or your soulmate, and I'll get into soulmates next, will always come when you are the most balanced, when you care for yourself, when you are loving yourself, when you are stable, when you are stable, right? And the universe always loves to do these things where they will surprise you at a very unexpected moment and drop them into your life. And sometimes they'll do it before you think you're ready, because spirit will always tell you when you're ready. And then maybe they'll leave and they'll come back, right? So it's a very interesting journey, and you can actually have multiple partners in one lifetime, but I will touch on that after soulmates. So soulmates are a little bit different. You can have many, many, many soulmates, but you won't have multiple twins. Like, you will have one twin that you will keep finding in other lifetimes, and then you will have multiple soulmates, right? And sometimes, even if you find your soul, or even if you find your twin, you have to remember that you both have free will as humans in this lifetime. So if one of you chooses to not take the path, or if you have a counterpart or a soulmate that chooses to not take the path to love, to surrender, you don't unite in this lifetime. So you have to surrender to that as well, and remember that at the end of the day, you are on your own journey, you are having fun, you are loving yourself. Don't try and force someone into a relationship. If it's meant to be, it will happen. And I've actually seen that literally happen in people's lives, where the other person in this lifetime, you know, the intention was to get together, but one of them chose a different path. So they never ended up meeting at a junction where they were supposed to, and then spirit sends in another right? If you like are not wanting a twin in this lifetime, spirit will literally send in another soulmate. Like, you're never gonna be alone if you choose to take that path. So know that that can also happen. And with soulmates, your soulmates will not have the same like type of fiery passion that you'll have with twins, again, because your twins are like meant for your expansion, so it takes a lot more work. There's like literally that a twin flame, that fire, that energy is very different. And then soulmates can be a different type of stability. It doesn't mean they're any less like cool or whatever, like whatever your verbiage is for relationships. Some people desire soulmates because they don't want that type of like nitty gritty, I'm gonna dig into it, I'm gonna like have these really open and honest conversations, maybe we're really different and like all these things, right? Like, it's a long journey. And soulmates are different. Like, they have a softer feeling to them. Maybe if you are ready to have kids right now and you just want something really stable, like that's also something you can have with a soulmate. And another thing to remember is that you can manifest one or the other. So I would spend some time, if you're on your journey of like reopening up to love, like writing down which type of relationship you want for yourself. My lovely coach Aloya like taught me that as well, and it's the coolest thing to see. And it just helps you get clarity in your own life, and then once you have that clarity, you can then allow it to go and you just surrender to the path ahead, right? But I did want to explain that because twins and soulmates are very, very, very different. But know, at the end of the day, you are always being watched over, you're always being protected, but don't force anything. And again, like, twins are a lot of work. A lot of work. Not saying soulmates aren't, but they're a lot of work in a different way on a soul level. And it, like, if you are new to developing your clairs, feel free to stop by the group session. I teach twice a day, so you can come ask questions. It doesn't matter if it's about relationships, about like, you know, your job, like it doesn't matter if you have questions, because I want to make sure that you have a safe space to go, because we were just talking about relationships in the last one. Come say hi, right? Because developing your clairs can be quite overwhelming, especially when you are trying to call in love, because you're gonna start to pick up on other people as well, and you have to use your discernment. And many people will try to manifest you, and you're gonna feel that. Even people who have crushes on you, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna see their name, you're gonna see their faces. Like, all of these things will start to happen, and it doesn't mean you're supposed to be with them, right? It doesn't mean you run towards them. It doesn't mean that you marry them, right? Like, and you're gonna find this out as you go through your development, like your psychic development, all of your clairs, all of your senses. Like, as everything starts to open, you can then be able to channel your energy in a very direct way towards the path that you are wanting. But I just wanted to share that briefly with you all, because a lot of people have been asking about it, and let me know if this was helpful below. I'm happy to make more videos and kind of teaching you how to actually recognize your twin. But again, like, don't think about it too much, just allow it to come to you. That's like the best way for the experience to happen. And if you are someone who, and this isn't by gender, if you are someone who is more of a divine, like feminine, be in your divine feminine energy, and you'll see it come to you really quickly. You'll start to see masculine energy be reflected around you everywhere. And even if people come up and say like, oh, do you need help? Just say yes, right? This is your journey of like receiving. And if you are a masculine, you know, or in that masculine energy and you're wanting a feminine, like, take care of your masculine energy, take care of your life, take like the reins on your finances, stability, like creating a space for yourself so you can hold that container for feminine energy to come be and exist in, right? So it's just so much fun, but really, really focus on yourself, love yourself, and all the pieces will come together. And spirit, again, I want to say this, spirit's gonna make it so obvious to you who your twin is and your soulmate is. And sometimes they'll come at the same time, or like sometimes you'll get information about both and you can find out if they're both in this lifetime or not. Right? Or you can manifest both, or spirit will bless you with both. So it just depends. But yeah, let me know if you have questions below. Thanks for listening. Like this video so more people can learn about twins and soulmates in a healthy way. And then stop by one of the classes. The link is also in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all soon.